Turning now to the Middle East, Israel is urging citizens around the world to be vigilant today as pro-Palestinian groups have called for a global day of rage. Meanwhile, Israel is gearing up for a final round of attacks against key Hamas locations. CBN Middle East correspondent Julie Stahl brings us the story from Jerusalem.
Pro-Palestinian groups are calling for this day of rage today to protest the ongoing war in Gaza. Israeli officials warn that Jewish travelers around the world could be targeted and violently attacked, as they have been in recent months. They're advising travelers not to display Jewish symbols or signs and to stay away from protest areas. Here in the Middle East, in Gaza, Israel Defense Forces are launching what could be the final push against Hamas strongholds. Flares visible from Israel light up the night sky as the IDF prepares to strike enemy targets. The terrorists have been pushed into more isolated and shrinking enclaves. They're often hiding in the tent cities of Gaza's displaced civilians, putting those civilians at more risk than ever as the IDF goes after the terrorists.
Over the past 72 hours, Israel's Air Force has struck 200 terror targets across Gaza. Amongst those are launch and sniper posts, weapons depots, and terror compounds. Ground forces dismantled terror infrastructure in Rafah, Tel al-Sultan, and Shabora, uncovering weapons caches and eliminating several terrorists.
Even as Hamas announces its plans to recruit 30,000 new fighters, it's having trouble paying those already in the ranks. Hamas was making much of its money by stealing and then selling humanitarian aid, but that cash flow has been drying up since the IDF cut off aid deliveries several weeks ago. Some in Israel advocate ending the war to get the remaining hostages back. But Israel's prime minister says while the return of the hostages is a top priority and negotiations are still underway, Hamas must be crushed to prevent more hostages from being taken in the future.
If we do not complete the destruction of Hamas military and governmental capabilities, the next October 7 and the next kidnappings are only a matter of time. Hamas says they will do it, they intend to do it, and they're working to do it.
Julie Stahl, CBN News, Jerusalem.
All right, thank you, Julie. Gordon?
It's a shame that Jewish travelers, whether in Europe, here in the United States, throughout the world, that they have to be on guard because some group has announced a day of rage against them, that they're worthy to be attacked anywhere that they are. Truth has been stood on its head in this whole conflict, that somehow or other Israel is engaged in a genocide. No, it's Hamas. And they've publicly said it. It was in their founding document that they want to wipe Israel off the map and they want to kill Jews. And they've been very upfront with that. When you listen to what the imams are preaching in the mosque on the West Bank, when you listen to that in Arabic and get a translation, it's quite clear what they intend to do. They're asking Allah to number the Jews so that they can be killed. When you look at what Hezbollah put out for so long, it was all designed to wipe Israel off the map and kill all the Jews living there. And somehow or other, we've gotten involved in this propaganda campaign where, no, it's Israel engaged in genocide. Not at all. It's never been that way. When you defend yourself against a horrific attacks, and your attacker is saying, I'm going to attack you again and again and again until you no longer exist. Well, the whole world should pay attention to that and realize that's real. That's not some made-up thing. That is real. These are real facts. And until Hamas surrenders, lays down all their arms, releases all the hostages, well, then Israel has every right to pursue them and to eliminate them. That is their right of self-defense. It's recognized under international law. Hamas is the bad actor here, not Israel.